How's it going, everybody? This is Joey. Today, I wanted to take a quick look at 3 free agents still on the market that would fit well with the Packers and that they could afford. So really, my criteria, if they fit, is if it's something that worked with Joe Barry's defense, if they've worked with someone on the coaching staff before, like Matt LaFleur or Joe Barry, and all of that good stuff, the positions of need, obviously, and just places they could supplement. I wanted to get this video out today before they sign anybody or any of these players get signed. All right, let's start with the cornerback position. I'm going with the 30-year-old himself, the former Viking, the former Colt, Xavier Rhodes at cornerback. He has a connection with Jerry Gray, and he was on my original free agency wish list that I made a few weeks ago. I think the classic idea with cornerbacks is that even if you draft one high in the first round, no matter where you draft a cornerback, it's going to take them a year or two to develop into a good starting cornerback that you can rely on. I think having a veteran corner in here to transition to another young corner would be great. I think Xavier Rhodes is a great fit for that. We might have to put aside our rivalry for a little bit here. Xavier Rhodes, I love him as a Packer. Like I mentioned, that Jerry Gray connection, just having that stopgap corner in there on the outside to hopefully transition to Asante Samuel. The cornerback market this year has been really interesting. Some guys are getting paid nowhere near what I expected them to get, and others are getting outrageous amounts of money. So I do think that that Xavier Rhodes is still sitting on there. I don't think he would get too much, nowhere near the Patrick Peterson money. I would say, if he's able to come here 1 or 2 years, making $2 to $3 million per year, I think that's an acceptable deal for the Packers. Next up, we got another old guy, and that is defensive tackle Gino Atkins, who was just released this morning. He is 32 years old. He has no connections to the Packers, but the Packers really need that interior defensive line help, especially if they plan on releasing Dean Lowry. I would love Gino as a Packer, great run stopper. Pair him up with Kenny Clark in the middle, and we're cooking with gas on that defensive line. Obviously, he's not in his Pro Bowl, All-Pro form that he was in a few years ago, but I still think he has something, and this is exactly the type of guys the Packers would be looking to sign with Gino Atkins, another veteran in there that they could get for really cheap. Another similar option would be Jarrell Casey. I don't have him on this list, but he was released by the Broncos, and I wouldn't mind him in a similar role. And finally, we addressed the glorious wide receiver position with Josh Reynolds, the former Ram. He is still out there on the market. He does have a connection to Matt LaFleur. They were both in the Rams offense for 1 year, obviously, together. I don't know how well he fits with what Matt LaFleur is running, but I think he'd be a great guy to have in there with the rotation of Allen Lazard, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Devontae Adams. Maybe a longer, not a 1 year deal with Josh Reynolds. He's still pretty young. And, you have no idea what the wide receiver room looks like after this year with both Allen Lazard, Devontae Adams, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling all coming up on a contract year. Again, you have no idea what you're looking at that room. Hopefully it would be a great compliment to both Devontae Adams and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And it's kind of just that rotational tire piece the Packers would need on offense if somebody goes down. He obviously wouldn't be this playmaker like Will Fuller at all, but I think he'd be a decent wide receiver to bring in here. A young guy, so he might be looking for more, but he would still be affordable for the Packers. That's all I got for you today. Let me know 3 free agents you think the Packers should sign and all of that good stuff. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.